Hi everybody! Today I'm going to make a video about my top 5 favorite things in Five Nights at Freddy's The Silver Eyes. And if you haven't read the book, you'll want to read it before watching this video because it will contain spoilers. And if you're still on the fence about reading it, I made a video last week about what the book is generally about without any spoilers. So link will be down in the description and you can go watch it. Thanks. So without further ado, my top 5 favorite things in Five Nights at Freddy's The Silver Eyes. Number 5. The dynamic between Charlie and Jessica. I really appreciated that one because, like I said in my other video, they did a really good job, the authors did a really good job making this book realistic with the teenagers in it, you know. And Charlie and Jessica was one of the most realistic aspects. Jessica is this very well put together girl, this very cute, well-dressed, pretty girl, and Charlie just kind of feels like this frump whenever she comes into the same room as Jessica, and she's even has this little conflict in her head about sharing a hotel room with Jessica, and there's like these awkward moments, and it's such a real moment. Like, no teenagers, I think, after being childhood friends would be able to see each other and feel totally normal around each other, and it would have been just so annoying if everybody was like super perfect friends, and I just like that they took the time to set that up. Number 4, Marla and Jason. So Marla and Jason were the two siblings in the story. Marla being one of the children who was friends with Michael, the deceased child, and Jason being her much, much younger brother. So he was about 11 years old, and they had this great little sibling dynamic where they fought all the time, but then you could tell there were moments where they really did love each other. Especially when they were in Freddy's and not being able to find each other and things were going crazy. And I loved just Jason and how independent he was and how he was able to have these like really spiritual moments in Freddy's, like when you would see the drawings moving or something. That was just a really interesting dynamic. Number 3, when they decided to go get help. One of the things I hate in like horror stories or horror movies is when the characters are like, oh no, we're up against these horrible things. Let's just take it on ourselves. And this is really common in stories where the main characters are not adults because they'll think, oh, these kids think they can take on the world. And it's like, okay, yes, sometimes kids will do that where they think they can take on the world, but that's really unrealistic. So they have this moment where they're outside of Freddy's, but Carlton is still inside and they know that something really sketchy is going on. And two of them are like, yeah, let's go back inside. We got to save Carlton. And then one of them's like, and then Marla is like, no, I'm not taking my little brother back in there. That's stupid. Let's go get the cops. And they do, and I really appreciated that they had that like sense of reason. Not that it totally persisted through the whole book, but I was glad for that moment. Number 2, Charlie's brother, Sammy. Oh my gosh, that was so sad, you know? They revealed in the book that Charlie had a brother, and it was her twin brother, and he was abducted by the serial killer. And it was just really, really awful. And I felt so much for her because she's remembering this little person that she loved and that she wanted to be friends with, and she couldn't quite remember what he was. I really liked how they revealed who he was, and I liked that they kind of, for the people who watch the video games or play the games, I really liked that they kind of alluded to him being the puppet. And I was pretty okay with that. I was okay with him being the puppet, even though the puppet wasn't in the book anywhere. That was cool. And my number 1 thing that was my favorite in this book was her dad. Charlie's dad was like the most interesting character in the book, even though he wasn't in the timeline that it was set in. He was only in the past. He was established as this person that she really loved and respected, but it was always ambiguous, at least at the beginning, what exactly had happened to him and why he wasn't there. Was he in the state penitentiary? Was he dead? And he ended up being dead. But then there was this question of, was he guilty? Was he the murderer? He was the only one that she could remember that was there all through it. And then once we kind of met Dave, it kind of became obvious that he was really the killer. But I just liked how they did that. And I like how they ended with like this really somewhat seemingly trivial moment with Charlie and her dad. And I really liked him as a character. So yeah, those are my top 5 favorite things. I'll post least favorites video soon, and I hope that you like it. Comment below with your favorite things from the books, or if you disagree with me and you actually hate some of the things that I like, please comment about that too. I'd love to discuss it with you. Thanks. Bye.